Ali Mitchell scored both goals for Kilmarnock. That's not yet over, but Kilmarnock leading Dundee United 2-0 in the battle of the two Cup quarter-finalists. And Kilmarnock 2, Dundee United 0. Chick Young was at Rugby Park for us.
Well, Dundee United were hit by two storms in Ayrshire this afternoon, one courtesy of the weather, the other in the shape of a Killie team. In red-hot form, in sharp contrast, I have to say, to the temperature here. Two goals from Ali Mitchell did the business. The first, a glorious strike beyond Killie O'Hanlon after just 4 minutes. The second, as the half was breathing its last, although O'Hanlon will feel he might have been the victim of the conditions in that one. In fact, the match did well to survive the snowstorm, although 10 out of 10 to Killie, who persevered with the passing game on a surface which currently looks like a wedding cake. United, though, were a major disappointment. Lekovic, in truth, seriously underemployed. Kilmarnock vaulted into 6th position courtesy of this win. United is still in real trouble at the bottom of the Premier Division. The word in Ayrshire tonight, though, is there's no business like snow business. Killie 2, Dundee United 0.
Clubs have Scottish Cup quarter-finals next weekend. They're both away from home. Would you fancy Kilmarnock's chances rather more than United's in today's performance?
Well, Davy Hay from Celtic was here watching Kilmarnock this afternoon. I think he'll go back with a rave report with Killie. They really went about their business professionally. United have problems. They say they blow hot and cold. Well, this was a day to blow cold. It really was, but they really were very, very bad today, and I think that Ivan Golats will be a very unhappy man down in the dressing room at the moment.
Okay, thanks, Chick. Take it easy back up the A77. Dundee United and Hearts at Tynecastle, of course, a live match next Sunday afternoon in the Tennant Scottish Cup quarter-final. Today, Kilmarnock beat Dundee United, and they now move above them in the table by 1 point.
Well, 2 Ali Mitchell goals gave Killie victory over Dundee United, and it could have been more. With neither side having absolutely guaranteed their Premier League status for next season, this game took on added significance. But someone clearly forgot to inform the United players as Killie swept into the attack in the first minute. O'Hanlon having to look smart to deny John Henry there. Kilmarnock were certainly in the mood, and they took the lead after only 6 minutes. United failed to clear their lines, allowing Ali Mitchell to thunder an unstoppable drive into the top corner. And the home team almost increased their lead 2 minutes after that, when Scotland's Player of the Month, Steve Maskrey, came close with this effort. But as the conditions worsened, referee Kenny Clark was forced to call for an orange ball to replace the one being lost in the snow. A change of ball perhaps, but no change in the pattern of play, with Killie seeking to increase their lead. Ali Mitchell's shot hitting the side net here. And not until the last 5 minutes of the first half did United threaten, and it really had more to do with eccentric goalkeeping from Lekovic than inspired United forward play, the keeper obviously blaming the weather. And from the corner they almost snatched an undeserved equaliser, the header from Petric drifting wide. But justice was done, and Killie scored a second just before the break. Ali Mitchell bearing down on goal, and his shot appeared to go underneath O'Hanlon. In any case, 2-0 Killie. As the snow got worse, the referee made a half-time pitch inspection, but at 2-0 up, Killie were determined that this match would go on. And not surprisingly, as the conditions worsened, so did the football. But Killie almost increased their lead. Jim McAnally's goal line clearance there, saving United. And then it was O'Hanlon's turn to save the visitors. Maskrey went on a run, and his pass found Colin McKee. And he ran at the United defence, but his shot bounced awkwardly for the keeper. But O'Hanlon redeemed himself, saving bravely at the feet of Mitchell. United's only chance of any note followed a goal-mouth scramble. The ball broke to striker Jaron Nixon, and his shot took a wicked deflection, but Lekovic got down well to save. It seemed the only way United would score would be through Lekovic's erratic goalkeeping, and in the closing minutes he almost obliged by punching this corner towards his own goal. The ball was cleared and Killie won it.
Many of the FIFA delegates at Turnberry made the short trip through Ayrshire to watch the relegation battle between Kilmarnock and Dundee United. Yes, relegation, although Kilmarnock came into the match after only one defeat against Rangers in their last 8 outings, and United hadn't lost in their last 7. Such is the tightness of this league. It was Kilmarnock, though, who showed the real appetite for the game right from the start. Only 3 minutes had gone when United failed to cope with a Robert Connor corner, and Ali Mitchell bulleted home the opener. Mitchell had been criticised the day before the match by his manager Alec Totten for his poor scoring record this season. Only 2 goals in 29 starts. But this was the best possible response. Steve Maskrey is enjoying a purple spell in a resurrected career, and he tested Callum O'Hanlon in the United goal as the blizzard conditions worsened. Referee Kenny Clark called for a colour change as far as the ball was concerned, but United found the match still running away from them. Ivan Golacz's men were finding it extremely difficult to put together any concerted attacking play, and they looked fragile defensively. John Henry setting up Mitchell to demonstrate his two-footedness with a fine right-foot shot. Towards half-time, United did manage to get forward, and Jim McInally's cross allowed Lekovic in the Kilmarnock goal to appreciate the bar of soap effect on the ball imposed by the worsening conditions. In a brief good spell for United, Gordan Petric headed a corner kick wide. The Yugoslav international defender adjusted to the conditions far better than his 2 fellow foreigners in attack, the Brazilian Sergio and the man from Trinidad, Jaron Nixon. This was a real shock to the system for them. Goal number 2 came just before the interval. Ali Mitchell was allowed too much room on the right and beat Callum O'Hanlon at his near post. Easy in first impressions to blame O'Hanlon, but the conditions were undoubtedly a factor in making the save much more difficult than usual. Referee Clark insisted upon strenuous efforts being made at the interval by the Rugby Park ground staff to ensure that the lines were clear enough for the game to continue. When it did, United were quickly on the rack again. Jim McInally's goal line clearance from Maskrey keeping them in with a glimmer of a chance. Then Maskrey exploited the space generously allowed by United to set up Colin McKee on the left. His shot was troublesome, especially in the conditions, but Callum O'Hanlon showed courage of the highest order to prevent Ali Mitchell scoring from the rebound. United offered a late flurry of attacking play, but without their normal style and invention. And when Jaron Nixon failed to grasp this shooting opportunity, the cause was lost. It ended Kilmarnock 2, Dundee United 0.